What if I told you that you could transform your life in 90 days? Without expensive courses, endless rituals, or complicated techniques? What if I told you that you already have everything you need to manifest wealth, success, and abundance beyond your imagination? This isn't a gimmick. This is the story of how I manifested $250,000 in just 3 months by practicing simple wealth affirmations. I'm not here to sell you anything, just to show you exactly what I did. And how you can do it too, even if you're starting from rock bottom, like I was. Let me paint you a picture. At 21, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I had just dropped out of college for the second time, had no plan, no money, no skills, and absolutely no direction. Every morning, the first thought that greeted me was, "You're a failure." My past gave me no evidence to believe otherwise. I lived with a stepdad whose narcissistic anger and OCD only added to the chaos in my mind. Physically, I was in constant pain. My nervous system was paralyzed by depression, leaving me curled up in a fetal position most days. I hated my life and felt utterly trapped. The one thing I had, the tiny sliver of light in all that darkness, was my meditation practice. But even that felt disconnected from the harsh reality of my circumstances. I knew how to meditate, but I didn't understand how to use this inner power to solve my external problems. That realization changed everything. One day, I came across a book by Paramahansa Yogananda, a Grand Master yogi who taught the power of the mind to create miracles. This wasn't just a book about the law of attraction. It was a manual for transforming consciousness itself. He referred to the mind as a magic factory, capable of producing outcomes that seem miraculous but are simply thoughts condensed into matter. The message was clear. If you change your consciousness, you change your life. Desperate and skeptical, I decided to give it a shot. I had nothing to lose. Yogananda's instructions were simple but profound. He explained that the first and last 5 minutes of the day are the most critical because that's when your mind is most impressionable. So every morning and night, I began practicing wealth affirmations. At first, I was terrible at it. I was lazy, distracted, and full of doubt. I didn't believe in the process, and I had no faith that repeating a few sentences would do anything to fix my life. But I kept going. Slowly, my focus improved. I started reading the affirmations with conviction, channeling more and more attention to the ideas of wealth and success. Over time, a battle began in my mind. My old patterns of failure consciousness fought tooth and nail against these new ideas of prosperity. Whenever doubts crept in, I amplified my focus on the affirmations, like a tug-of-war between my past and my future. And little by little, the affirmations began to win. The changes started subtly. A yoga student asked me for spiritual counseling and insisted on paying me for my time, even though I offered to do it for free. My mom gave me a box of Persian turquoise stones sent by a family friend, explaining that their value had skyrocketed due to international sanctions. These moments were small, but they felt like whispers from the universe. Wealth is on its way. I began to take inspired action. I researched business ideas obsessively, spending hours at the library and on the internet. I experimented with starting a Shopify store and an Etsy shop, and even though my efforts didn't yield immediate results, I was learning. My mindset had shifted. I wasn't afraid of failure anymore. I was falling in love with the process. One night, after months of practicing affirmations, I fell asleep in a deep state of faith. I had no resistance to the idea of wealth. I could feel it as though it was already mine. That night, I dreamed of running a successful business, surrounded by employees and customers. When I woke up, the first thought that came to mind was, I'm going to make $200,000. It wasn't a wish or a goal. It was a knowing. Within a week, I found my golden opportunity. It was March 2020, and I was scrolling through Etsy when I noticed face masks were one of the most searched items. I asked my mom to sew a few masks, listed them on my shop, And the next day, I woke up to sales. By the end of my first week, I had made $14,000 in revenue. By April 14, just 25 days after starting, I had $200,000 deposited into my bank account. By the time the business ended, I had generated $850,000 in revenue, with $250,000 in profit. Here's what blew my mind. This wasn't just about the money, it was about the shift in my consciousness. My affirmations had reprogrammed my mind to think and act like a successful person. That shift created opportunities I could have never imagined, and the universe delivered everything I needed at the perfect time. I'll never forget the joy of seeing my designs worn by thousands of customers, reading glowing reviews, and knowing that my work was making a difference. It was a spiritual experience, a tangible expression of the magic I had been cooking up in my mind for months. But here's the mistake I made. After the $250,000 came in, I stopped practicing my affirmations. Slowly, my mind slipped back into old patterns, and my success plateaued. This was the most important lesson I learned. Manifestation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. So here are my tips on how you can do it too. If you're ready to transform your life, here's my advice. First, start simple. Choose a set of affirmations that resonate with you. Repeat them every morning and night with as much conviction as you can muster. Even if you don't believe them at first, keep going. Second, focus. Concentrate on the feeling of your affirmations as if they're already true. Over time, your mind will grow stronger and more aligned with your desires. Third, take inspired action. Follow your intuition. The universe will guide you to the right opportunities, but you have to act on them. And lastly, persist. Don't stop. Manifestation is like going to the gym. You have to keep training to see results. Looking back, I know this practice saved me. It took me from a life of despair and failure to one of abundance and purpose, and I'm just getting started. If you're reading this, know that you have the same power within you. Your success is inevitable. All you have to do is decide.